Hello, everyone. I just wanted to take you on an adventure with me as I ride the Indian Head Rail Trail. Of course, this is coming into the park. This is in Charles County, Maryland. The trail goes from Indian Head, which was a naval base, all the way up to White Plains, Maryland. These are the rules. And this trail is 13 miles. As you can see, it shows you some of the parking along the way. Theater Green Boulevard parking. And this goes all the way down, like I said, 13 miles. So if you do a round trip on this, you're doing 26 miles. Very nice trail, as you see in the video. We're going to take a ride. Coming in from the White Plains area, you have a welcome into the Indian Head Rail Trail here. As you can see, there's lots of nature to see. Very serene and peaceful. There are a lot of waterways in here, and I'll talk about one or two of them. And of course, along the way, you got places you can stop and take a look or take a pictures or read some of the information they have about the trail. And this trail does cut through neighborhoods, or more or less on the green side. You'll typically see homes, the back of the homes or side of the homes through this trail. This railroad ran starting in World War One from the naval base all the way up to White Plains. And it was a primary route for getting supplies down to the naval base was with this rail line. It became very useful in World War One and World War Two. So to convert this railroad over to a trail, I believe it was in 2006 that they had the project started in Charles County to move the railroads out and to cover and asphalt the trail to make it usable for bikers, walkers, and joggers. I believe it was in 2009 when the trail was complete and made available for the public to use. If you remember in the rules, this is a dawn to dusk part. Here's another stop along the way if you wanted to stop and have lunch. If you're making a day of your ride on the trail, and have a couple of stops along the way where you can just take a break if you wanted to eat lunch. Now, the terrain here is slightly hilly, but not that hilly. You know, this is more of a flat surface, but every now and then you'll have to climb some hills. But for the most part, it's a flat surface. You will get a workout. And this is a really good trail for casual riders as well as the more experienced riders. Of course, everywhere you see that fencing there blocking you off from some type of waterway. Safety. few benches here and there for the walkers or those that just want to come out and partake of nature. And of course, if you like listening to music, you can put your headphones in, listen to music while you ride. You just have to understand, hopefully, you have pass through earbuds where you can hear people talking to you or giving you warnings that they're coming on your left or right. But you got to remember that safety is first. It's a little easier when you can see the people in front of you, but sometimes you have bikers coming from behind to pass you, and you just have to be sure that you can hear them. So if you check the internet, you're going to find there are a lot of places that have done this. There are a lot of rail to trail places that are really nice and easy to get to and great for riding your bikes, also for walking or jogging. But a lot of the old railroads that are no longer used are being turned into trails like this, which is great. Some of asphalt, and some of them have been, some of the ones that I've been on have been gravel or dirt. But this one, of course, is asphalt the whole way. Now, I'm a casual rider, so I don't typically ride for time and that type of thing, but I enjoy my ride, enjoy the scenery, and I just really enjoy just being out there, fresh air. There's some of the homes and community over on the left, more or less their backyards. Just pretty nice to have a really nice nature area in your backyard. So depending on the time of day that you go out, you can sometimes have large crowds. Of course, on the weekends when there are nice days that there's going to be a lot of people on the trail. So you're going to have to be very careful as you pass people, your bikers, your your walkers. And pets are allowed. You're just required to clean up after your pet. And they have little stops along the way that, again, that has information. I'm going to talk about some of those on my turnaround trip. Now, I don't ride the whole 13 miles. I typically ride 2 to 3 miles out and 2 to 3 miles back. Making my turnaround to head back. And as I said, with the benches there, you can just take time to really just relax if you like. Take time off, stop and sit on the benches, enjoy some of the nature, whether you're walking or riding. People are very friendly. Here's one of the stops here. This here, they're just talking about the monarch butterfly, which is in that area. This is one of those, small wonders of insect world. You can see here. So this is just a little post telling you a little bit about the monarch butterfly, which you will find in this area. As you see on the milkweed plant is where they're like to be. I'm starting up my ride again. Again, like I said, you're going through mostly the backyard of communities is where this railroad used to be. Again, there are multiple waterways and so watershed. Great places to stop. Look down if you see they had a little hitch there to tie your animals on while you're sitting there enjoying yourself. Again, like I said, you're going to pass a lot of riders and walkers. My video, I try to remove some of them out of there. So, very peaceful. Very, very little noise. Even when I've been out there with a lot of people, it's still very little noise. Just quiet riding every now and then, conversation. You meet a lot of great people out there from the community. Plan to come back out again and ride, probably when there's a little more, when the leaves are a little bit greener. Like I said, this was done in uh, prior to spring. So I ride this trail a lot during spring, summer, and early fall. Of course, all these trees will be covered with leaves during this time, or during the time that I typically ride. We just had a really great day on this day. I decided to go out and take a ride. At this particular stop along the way, this is one of the ones I stopped at. This particular location has a history of the building. When they originally built this trail and took out the old railroad and parts that were recycled and all that was there. So here I'm going to show you a little shot of the screen. So here's a story of it. If you can see right there are pictures in there where they pull the tracks out and they talk about some of it being recycled. Um, During the post-war, decided to close the smokeless power production. And so at that point, the railroad wasn't used much after that. So as you can see here, this is the progress of them taking out the railroad tracks and the lumber and putting the uh, fences up around the waterways. And then you see in November 2009 is when they had the ribbon cutting to open this area up for riders and trail and for use. I guess those of you who can tell by the shadow what time of day it is and what direction I'm heading. Of course, like I said, this is me heading back to the area where I started. And they have ample parking in that area. It is a gravel parking right across the street from where you enter into the Indian Head Trail. My next stop here. So this particular stop, talks about the foliage here, talk about the ferns that have been here prior to the dinosaurs. Uh, Talks about not being a flowering plant, but they're trying to give you some idea of the ecology here. If you're like me, I like to stop and read some of these and get some idea about the history and what grows there and what goes on. So for me, it's a very leisurely ride. And I just take time to enjoy all the things that I see along the way. Get started again. And sometime the county's going to come out and move those trees that have died and fallen down. You can see up there, you can see the entryway at a starting point from White Plains. Just a really great place to ride in, like that ride or walk. If you really get into it and you enjoy it, you can, like I said, you can look for other trails all around the country. There are quite a few of them. There's some in Virginia, and I've been on one that goes from northern Maryland all the way into West Virginia. That was a gravel or rock trail, but it was still a flat surface, so it wasn't too many hills to climb. And this is talking about the watershed area, keeping the area clean. Screen below us, this is runs in the Port Tobacco River, which empties into the Potomac River and eventually reaches Chesapeake Bay. Shows you the type of wildlife you can expect to see there. That's just a picture right over top of the stop of the area in the creek area there. So you get a chance to see it. And on the opposite side is the Port Tobacco Creek. You see the area still protected and still have, homes that have that as their nature background. I'm heading back to finish up my ride. We are in Charles County, Maryland. It's the entryway headed back to the parking lot, as you can see across there. So it's a great ride. I think you'd really enjoy it if you're into biking and looking for places to ride. Like I said, check out all of the places that they have around different areas. Maybe you can make a summer and just ride some of the trails and take your time and enjoy it. Very peaceful, and I love doing it. And I hope you do too. So when you get the opportunity, take that time to go on a ride. This is the Theodore Green Boulevard. Across there is where you can see the parking lot at where most people are parking and getting on their bikes to take a ride on a trail or to walk or to jog. So please take the time to enjoy this. I hope you enjoyed this little visit over the trail. Gave you a chance to see the trail and see a little part of it. Here's some of the history of it. There's more. Look them up, enjoy, and have a good day.